Are you ready?
Here we go.
The following is a post-watershed production. It will contain scenes and storylines that are not suitable for children, and some of the content may also not be suitable for other viewers. This programming, however, will not contain strobe lighting effects. For those that are easily offended, fuck off now. The following podcast is scheduled for one talk.
What talk?
And it is for, well, fuck, I don't know what it's for. It's probably for your benefit. For the people at home, it's for your benefit. And here, look, subscribe, give us a like, and maybe a share, and that'll be for our benefit. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the After Sesh this week. Live here from After Session Studios with Adam and Aaron. How are you getting on, Aaron?
What's this story, fella?
Oh, good, man. All good.
I
Plenty of
feel
good
these
things
weeks
going
are
on at the minute.
fucking they're dragging in.
Do you think so? Do you think so,
Yeah.
man? I'm absolutely amazed it's already November, to be honest.
I
I cannot believe that.
can't believe it's nearly Christmas, but it just feels like every time we record a podcast, it just feels like ages away since the last
Yeah, I
one.
suppose that's good, though. Well, if you think about it, we'll probably have more to talk about.
It's only going to be like a 10-minute podcast.
Probably. We might actually get some viewer attention then. That'd be gas.
I highly doubt it. Because
Yeah,
our
who
fourth
knows?
segment is dad jokes, and people normally click off by now, so fuck.
Right. I'll start you off with a dad joke here.
Right, serious face.
Trying not to laugh,
God,
yeah,
already.
because this is going to be hilarious.
Right,
Right.
serious face, serious.
How do you find Will Smith in the snow?
How?
You follow the Fresh Prince.
See? I was laughing before you even said it.
That's it. It's just because you knew it was going to be a little sizzler.
I heard Will Smith, I was like, oh god. Ah, right. Serious face, Adam, serious face. Did you hear what happened to the wooden car?
Nope.
It wouldn't go. And that's a dad joke and a half.
That is a dad joke and a half. Oh yeah, did not expect that, to be honest. Right. I have mine for you now. Second one, you're in for a treat. You're getting
Oh.
2 off each this week. Well, you better be prepared, Aaron, because I came prepared this week.
Right,
My
serious.
second dad joke. Right, ready? Are the people at home ready? Probably not. Probably not. Who is ready for this joke? But I'm going to ask you. Oh shit, I'm forgetting it, to be honest. That's why I'm stalling like fuck here. What makes a tick and the Eiffel Tower? Oh bollocks! What's the fucking joke? Oh, I'm not forgetting it.
Joke.
Yeah, I joked it. He's
I'm
I'm done. I'm out of here.
Fucked up.
Oh, I fucked up. I've done it. I'm out of here. See you later, Aaron. I hand over the keys to you, ladies and gentlemen. Slán. I'm out of here. Brain fart central over here.
Right, I'll give you a bonus one this week.
Thank you. Please, Jesus Christ, get me away from that joke.
What's the difference? What's the difference between a nun at prayer and a nun in the bath?
I don't know.
One has hope in her soul, the other has soap in her hole. Oh, sweet Jesus Christ. I nearly killed him.
That's a cracker. That is an absolute cracker. Do you know what? Hands down, you won this week. Never mind. Even if I didn't joke, I could have told the best joke ever. You still win with that one. That was a brilliant one.
I came in with fucking all guns blazing this week. 2 crackers.
No, that's it. 2 crackers, man, and only 1 sizzler from me. So this week the crown goes to a new champion of dad jokes, Aaron Williams. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you know that if you have a dad joke, or if you have a dad joke, or you have something that's going to make us laugh, send it in to us. Who knows? You might make it onto there.
Yeah. Moving on. Do you want me to go first?
I don't mind. Yeah, do you have something you want to talk about?
I'm going for this or that, boy.
Oh, for this or that.
Yeah.
Right, I'll let you go first, bro.
Right. If you were offered to go to Mars and start inhabiting Mars, I don't know what habitat. Nah. What's the word? Inhabiting.
Inhabiting.
Inhabiting Yeah,
inhabiting.
if you were off to go to Mars,
So
then
that if I'm a part of the Mars plantation, basically,
essentially,
is that?
yeah, or go live on an island and live off the island with no help, like you're basically living off the land, no electricity, no nothing, just basically to fend for yourself.
Oh, kind of fucked if I go to Mars, haven't I? Am I the only one there if I go to Mars?
No,
Is
there's
there
a
other
few.
people there, or is it just me?
I'd say about 6 people.
I fuck, I'd go to Mars. Do you know what I mean? Like a bit of
So would
company.
I, bit of crack. Get away from people.
That's it. It all depends on what island, though. Realistically, man, if you want me to live off the land and the islands I'd be to, that's handy enough. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I literally mean like desert island, like just an island that has the bare minimum to survive off, like animals, trees, the sea,
Yeah,
all that. Like,
I'm gonna stick with Mars. I'll stick
yeah,
with
good
Mars to be
choice, good
honest.
choice, good choice.
Yeah, has to be done. Fuck that.
Have you got one for me?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Once again, gotta be a little cracker. Would you rather never to be able to eat a vegetable again, or to have to eat a vegetable in every single meal for the rest of your life,
Like including
or
breakfast
eat
and all?
vegetables as your meal for every like you have to either never have them again, or you can only eat them for the rest of your life.
So can I have them mixed in with porridge or will we mix around?
No. You just have to eat veg for the rest of your life, or you'd never get to eat veg ever
Man,
again.
I'll be a skinny prick. Jesus.
Yeah. You can take supplements. You can take
Oh,
vegan whey.
nah, I'd have to go and never eat veg again. I
Yeah,
can't
don't
live
blame me.
without takeaways and chicken. Just nah, I couldn't.
But over the next few weeks, we're gonna have to.
But now I'm trying. Look, you can see my neck a bit. I'm
Yeah.
only
Oh,
having
there you
two
go. Yeah.
chins.
Yeah.
Right, here's one I'm curious to know the answer to.
Right.
Pee standing up or sitting down?
Standing up.
Does that treat itself to a little sit down?
No,
Ah,
I
mate.
treat myself to like standing up and then just going, lovely, happy days, that's done. We sit
Sit.
down on the toilet, man. I could be there for fucking anywhere for 2 minutes to 2 days. You know what I mean? Like, you get absorbed into shit. Fall down a YouTube rabbit hole on the toilet. You may as well fall down the toilet, man.
I have to treat yourself to now sit down pee.
That
Especially
now.
first thing in the morning, like when you're only awake.
No, I'm more of a stander upper, man. Has to be done.
More of a majority sit downer. But
Oh,
moving on.
fair enough. Okay. Right. Nirvana or Oasis?
Who's Nevada?
Okay, you're gonna have to edit that out. Okay. Oasis or Thin Lizzy?
Who's Tin Lizzy?
Oh, you're gonna get death threats after this, you mad bastard, man. They're from Ireland and all. Fucking hell, Phil Lynott be spinning right now. Right, fucking hell. Oasis or Westlife?
Westlife. All
Oh, I thought you were
day,
gonna
every
say
day.
for the laugh there, who are Westlife?
I was going to, but I was like, nah.
Bro.
Nah,
So
Westlife all
Westlife
day.
over Oasis.
Yeah,
Fair enough,
can't
fair
be
enough.
an out bit of Westlife. I know a good few of their songs. They're one of the first concerts I went to. Been to about maybe 5 concerts in my life. Can't be a bit of Westlife.
Yeah, well, like they may have now. Oh, this is to me purely speculating here. They may have given you one of the best concert experiences of your life. But you know what's gonna give you the hands down best concert experience of your life?
Tell me.
Oh, Swedish House Mafia. That's exactly
Dum
what's gonna.
dum
Oh, that's it. Don't
dum
tell me you
dum.
forgot already. It's only a
I
year
didn't.
away. We've already started pre. You're pre-drinking already. Fair play to you. I want to take this time to let everyone know that this podcast is not sponsored by Tiger. Oh, I've killed him. With God as my witness, he is broken in half.
Went down the wrong hole. That's what she said.
You got there before me, you fucker.
I watched too much of The Office.
Fair. Well, come here. Look, once you're back to the land of the living, cheers, bro. Like
Sláinte.
virtual cheers. We love to say it.
Oh God, now that I've recovered.
Yep.
Kind of. Excuse me.
Do you have any more this or that?
Last one on my end. Oh God,
Okay.
throat. Would you rather replace a UFC fighter in a title match and you have to fight like your life depends on it? You can't just like lie down and like submit me. You actually have to try fighting like properly. or
Yeah,
jump
you're
out of
fighting for a title. Like,
and you're fighting for your life basically. Or would you rather jump
right.
out of a plane with no parachute and try land on a giant net?
I'd happily jump in an octagon rather than jumping out of a plane, bro. I know how to
Really?
throw a punch and a kick, and I know I'm heavy enough that it'll be a bit of a struggle to get me up and down for the takedown. It'll probably happen regardless, but like heavy
Yeah,
enough that at least they might be tired. Maybe the punches won't hit as hard when they ground and pound or whatever, but I don't really feel like ground and pound on the actual ground when I come out of a plane, you know what I mean?
yeah, but think about it, you're fighting an actual UFC fighter that holds a title and has
Yeah,
years of
yeah,
experience.
yeah, but also I'm gonna throw this back at you. Think about it. You've no parachute. You're not jumping out of that plane. You're falling out of that plane.
Yeah, but you land on a net.
You land on a net.
Yeah, someone has done it already.
Oh, I didn't know you land on a net.
Yeah,
But to be honest, I'd
doesn't make a
definitely go in
difference.
to the. Oh, it doesn't make a difference. I'd go into the octagon. I'd be buzzing. Come
Headline
out with no
UFC
teeth.
Las Vegas.
Come out with no teeth and a broken eye socket and all, man. And you know what? I'd probably be there fucking kissing Day in his ass, asking for another scrap. Like, but like, please, please, I want to get more money.
That kid's
Fact.
actually
Be
impressed
gas,
me.
man. Yeah. Yeah. Good heart on this fella. Just absolutely shite at everything else. God love him.
Speaking of UFC, there, do
What?
you watch the Vegas fight? The
I did. The fight night that was on the other night.
yeah,
Max and Yair.
yeah, scrap and a half.
I'm gonna ask you about something beforehand, because I assume you did watch it as well. But what did you think of the stoppage in the Ben Rothwell fight, in the heavyweight fight,
And let me think. Is
where
that where?
Herb Dean stepped in and Rock? What happened was Rothwell was rocked in the first round. He took a good few blows, and then from what it looked like to me, one really got caught badly by one basically after a barrage of punches, and he slumped. And then came forward and like kind of went for the takedown. So he had the wherewithal for the takedown, where Herb Dean jumped in and called the fight. Now, in fairness, looking at how he went down from that smack, you'd think he was out cold. Like the legs went, he looked like he was gone. Do you know what I mean?
Is that where
So
he went to stop
what
it and the two of them like swung
he
around? It felt
almost,
like I'm stopping, I'm
yeah,
stopping.
yeah, exactly. He almost didn't stop it.
Was
But
that the
that's what I
fight?
was going
Was
to
it?
ask you. That is the fight, yeah.
Yeah, let's make it
Do
sure.
you
Yeah.
think that's an early stoppage, or what do you like that stoppage? Do you think that was a good stoppage? Because me personally, man, when you see someone get flatlined like that, I think it was a good stoppage
I think it
for
was a
what
good one.
Herb's saying.
Yeah, from what he's saying, like you can't blame anyone for putting the fire safety force. Like when you see someone wobble like that, you're like, holy shit. And
Yeah, fact.
like I don't blame him. It was a good stoppage. Like, was he gonna come back and win? God knows, but there's probably a slight chance. But
Yeah.
it's a good
Well, every
stoppage
man with two
for
hands has a fighting chance.
like let's say for argument's sake it did go on and he let the fight go on and something actually happened to him. People would be calling for his head saying, why didn't you stop it? Look at him wobbling. So if you look at it from that
Exactly.
side, they're gonna be like, well, look at him stumbling there. Stop it. So you can't have the same argument. You can't have different arguments for the same thing. So once you see someone stumble, it's very hard for them to recover unless you're a Gaethje
Yeah.
or Holloway.
No, I understand. Yeah. And Joe, I'll say it's Chris Kamara used this line an awful lot when he was looking at like penalties in the Premier League. I always say, "Oh, I've seen them given," and that's what I feel like with that. It's not a bad stoppage. It's not a good stoppage, but it's just I've seen them given, and I understand why it was given. Like,
There
or
was
why
one.
like Herb thinks he has to step in. If the referee feels like they need to step in, then like realistically they need to step in when
It's
they're at
not.
that caliber.
It's not as if he's like ill-experienced either. Like he's one of the top referees, if not the top referee they have. And if he says, "I felt like I need to stop it," then you have to respect him. Like it's not as if he's a
Oh
new
yeah,
ref
fact.
coming in and you're like, "What's this fucking newbie doing?" Like
Exactly. He's far from an amateur.
he's seen it all. So for him to think that he must have got some wallop. But I think it was him. He stopped the fight early. He put his hand up to say like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I just didn't see it properly," or he had a bad angle of it. So he does admit when he's wrong, but I think he was right in this instance.
Yeah, same here. I'd agree with that. May I ask you as well, what did you think the main event?
Oh,
Really, man, I was so impressed with Yair Rodriguez.
that's
He
been there for
brought
two
something
years.
completely different. Yeah, he brought something so different to a Max Holloway fight. Brought actual genuine danger that Holloway could get starched. You don't see that in a lot of people.
Yeah, can you only imagine if he didn't take it? Was he injured for 2 years, or was it a 2 year break? Or I don't know
I
much about him.
honestly don't. I honestly don't know. I know Yair Rodriguez mostly through playing the UFC game and the incredible knockout he got against the Korean Zombie with the up elbow in the last second of that fight. But what I noticed was the amount of prep work he did for this. If you look at like a lot of the way he moved, a lot of the combinations he threw was very reminiscent of fighters that had beaten Holloway in the past. There's a thing that Dustin Poirier does where it's like as he's coming forward throwing punches, he changes guard to give
Yeah.
himself that extra. It's how he ends up overwhelming people, and he was employing that. And in fairness, Poirier employed that really well against Holloway when they did fight. And one thing that showed me for the other night is Max is very willing to get hit. He's very willing to. He was very willing to take the leg kick if it meant I can land. So like all I can say is like I can't wait for the next time them two scrap or the next time they fight anyone because it's going to be an absolute barnstormer.
But Holloway's always been like that, hasn't he? He's always taking the risk of getting hit to land a better punch. I'm not much of a UFC fan, as people know, but from what I've seen of him, he likes to take a risk of being hit to actually get a good punch off himself, just to lower that your whoever he's fighting in to get him closer so he can land a decent punch on him. It seems to be the way he's always been.
Yeah,
Like he's not one for standing there and holding his hands up on his head and always scared. He's like, come on, hit me, but I'm gonna hit you harder.
that's it. He wants to make things happen.
Yeah.
I was really
And
impressed with his grappling game. Now I have to say.
I was looking up after the fight. Did he ever fight Gaethje? Just to have a look back and like if he ever did fight, watch the highlights because I'd love to see that fight. And an article came up and the headline was Gaethje says that he'd never like to fight Holloway because just the way he is, like he's just an animal.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. And I think to be honest, talk about fucking fireworks, man.
Yeah.
That fight would be absolutely ridiculous.
That's the one thing I love
Someone's
with
going to
UFC.
sleep.
The respect they have afterwards is unreal. Like they had
Yeah,
nothing but respect after. Like even in the ambulance, I seen a clip of what's his name again? The
Chandler and Gaethje, is it?
no Holloway's opponent. What's his name? Yahir.
Oh, Yair, yeah.
Yahir. He was in the ambulance about to be taken off, and Holloway comes out and getting photographs together, on the laugh, handshakes, and all this. And like these two was literally knocked the bollocks out of each other, and now you're just all friendly and it's what I love about it.
It is. It's lovely to see. It really is. And even I think we were talking about it last week, but like you see it more now, even with Colby and Usman. As much of a heated rivalry that was a white hot rivalry. And at the end of it, the referee coming over, going, "Come on, guys, you can kiss later."
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's like
Oh,
I'm
Mr.
just here to make
Miyagi.
you money. Well done, Daniel San. Well done. But yeah, no, that was speaking of martial arts, like, but that was fantastic. I nearly dropped my bottle, but no, that was the show of sportsmanship. There was incredible. It was fantastic to see because I think a lot of people look at the UFC when the neutrals coming in and go, "Oh, I don't see every event. Oh, Conor McGregor's here," or fuck. Like, I feel like a lot of people like tune in for cards that just so happen to have something horrible happen on or something controversial happen on. Do you know what I mean? Where if more neutral fans kind of came in and were like, "Ooh," well, not neutral fans, but more of the I don't
Like
know what you
me.
call them. Yeah, say yourself. The way you're starting to watch like more events, you start to see two lads that have tremendous, or even two women have tremendous respect for each other. At the end of the day, they both know they fought their heart out. Do you know what I mean? And that's fantastic to see. To leave it all in there, and that's what Max said beforehand. One of the things that he aims to do in every single fight is to leave everything out there. Because if he's not giving us all, what's the fucking point? Like,
Yeah. Have to respect him. Like I've seen him a few times and have to respect what he does. Like have to respect anyone that steps in the ring, but just the way he puts on his show and just the way he goes about his fights is have to commend him for that. He's
yeah, he takes it to a different level, doesn't he?
yeah.
He really does.
Look, come here. We're nearly at the end of the international break, thank God.
Yeah.
And there's one thing I want to talk about with you, and I
Okay.
think it's a bit controversial. And it's
Right.
see the
You know
way
me, I'm always down for a bit of controversy.
I hate that I'm not at this, but this thing just annoys me. I don't know why. I just wish it didn't.
Okay.
Ireland's played Portugal there was it Thursday? Last week? Yeah,
Last
last Thursday, yeah.
Thursday, yeah.
And everyone kind of remembers it as one of the kids going on the pitch and getting Ronaldo's jersey.
Yeah.
Things like that, and kids bringing signs into this ground saying, Ronaldo can have your jersey, Salah can have your jersey, run onto the pitch after the final whistle or before the game. All that annoys me. I don't know why. I sound like a prick for
Yeah.
saying it. They're kids. But
Well, like I actually had this conversation the other night, and it was more along the lines of if I was Gavin Bazuna, I would have been fucking pissed off at the end of that game. Like, you think you'd be getting Ronaldo's jersey, you know?
yeah,
That's
like
the only thing. Like, obviously, it's hard to be angry at a kid. You know what I mean? Like,
I
especially if
know.
you're in the moment. Like,
I wouldn't say
a fair play to
angry.
her running on and all, but
Yeah,
it's just I get what you mean. Sometimes you see that and you're like, oh, what are you doing? But like
yeah.
in this case, what I was saying the other night, I was like, I'm delighted for her because she was supposed to get a fine from the FAI after that, and the fine's been rescinded now.
Would you
So
not
she,
think it
no payment
encourages
needed.
kids to run to the pitch after games?
I was only thinking that earlier. It probably does because knowing me, if I was say like fucking 8 or 9, or even now, well, I wouldn't get away with it now. But if I was a kid, man, and I seen that and I was like, oh shit, she got a jersey. Bet you I could hop that faster than she could.
Like, see, after
Do you
matches
know what I
when
mean?
players go over to fans and throw their jerseys in the crowd, off you go, do that.
Yeah.
But when I see people run to the pitch and get their jerseys, and it just annoys me because they're just people. Like, relax the fuck. If he wants to give you
Uh,
his jersey, he'll walk over and throw it to the crowd or whatever. Or it shouldn't annoy me, and I feel like a prick for saying it, but
it's
it's
just one
just
of
a
them things.
pet peeve. I don't know. I just hate that it annoys me so much. Not so much, but it just gets to me. Like,
Oh, I get you.
yeah,
What happened? Did you try run onto a pitch years ago and get stopped?
like, whatever. Bring a sign, right? But don't run onto the pitch, like. Because imagine after the game, you just see about 50,000 kids run onto the pitch.
Well, yeah, there you go. Well, see, it comes down to safe. Like as a safety matter, it's probably not good to have anyone running on the pitch.
Yeah, like,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Not to be that guy. I hate that
I
people
know.
do this, but I feel like it has to be done. But it's still a pandemic. Like, please get off the like. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes I can understand that angle of it being like, oh God, no, like you're gonna make RCR7 sick for the weekend, and we can't afford to lose Callum Robinson. And he's unvaccinated as well, so God love him. Do you know what I mean? That could affect him. I'm only taking the piss here completely, to be honest. Man, I don't mind people running onto the pitch as long as they don't destroy or disturb or kind of fuck with anything, you know?
But you
I
know what's
remember, like,
weird?
anytime you see a streaker run onto a pitch, I get pissed off because, like, you are ruining the flow of this game.
Yeah.
But that's
But
only
you,
if I'm into it.
but you know what? When I'm at GA matches in, let's say, Parnell Park or down the country, whatever, and after a double
Yeah.
match, everyone runs onto the pitch, and like that doesn't bother me. But yeah, seeing what a person runs the pitch after like a fresh football game, that annoys me, which is weird.
That's strange. Yeah, that's a bit odd.
I'm just a weirdo.
I don't
This
know,
sums
man.
me up.
Oh, well, you said it, not me.
Well, that's the last episode of that Sesh because we're about to get cancelled.
Yeah. Buzzing. Cannot wait to get cancelled. You know what the thing is, man? I haven't even thought of anything bad enough to get us cancelled. So when you start doing skits and shit like that, oh dear Christ, like that's gonna get us. Oh, that's gonna get us in some hot water.
Depends what you do.
I don't know. But the way things go now, man, you could make the most innocent sounding video of all time, and or you could have an innocent meaning behind it. Context is everything, and context is not thought about when viewing shit apparently online. Come here, man. I have to ask you. This is the bit out of left field, right? Do you know what? I'll ask after. I'll ask after. I want to keep on the FAI buzz, what you're talking about here, and not just the FAI buzz, but football in general, the international break.
Mhm.
I heard a lot during the week of people like on RTE and on Virgin Media Sport, like Richard Dunn, Liam Brady, Brian Kerr, Richie, what's your man's name? Finished third place in like an underage World Cup.
Eyebrows.
Eyebrows, yeah. Not Kenny Cunningham, the other baldy fella.
Oh,
They were all having a debate on either station as to whether Stephen Kenny should keep his job. And to be honest, I'd love to ask you that. What's your opinion on? Do you have an opinion on it? Do you reckon he should or should not keep his job? Now, bear in mind his contract runs until June. we have games in March, and his contract runs until July. We have games in March and games in June. Liam Brady's point was saying, well, if we have the games there and the lads are clearly responding to what he's bringing to the team, what he like the message, then maybe give him the time and see how he performs against proper opposition.
How long has he been in charge?
I think Stephen Kenny is in charge 18 months. Thereabouts, because I think his first game in charge was against Slovakia in the semi-final of the playoffs for the Euros. And then they obviously had their losing run at the start. They obviously have turned it around. But I'd be really interested to know, as a football fan, what do you think? Would you want Stephen Kenny to stay in the job as an Irish football fan?
See, if I watched Ireland more, I'd have more of an opinion on this. So my opinion means nothing. But
Okay.
from what I've seen and heard from people, I would extend his contract, because the fact that he's only been in the job 18 months, I'm seeing things like it's the first time Ireland have kept like 3 or 4 consecutive clean sheets in about fucking 8 or 10 years or something. And
yeah,
I don't really watch Ireland that much because like we've been shy and I just rather watch paint dry sometimes. So
yeah, I understand. I'm used to the trauma. I as a Newcastle fan, I'm used to watching paint dry on a fucking weekly basis, and Ireland isn't. It used to be very similar football. I think that's why I gravitated to Newcastle. I was like, they're just as shit as Ireland.
But the fact I've heard people saying, like, even after last night, was it last night we were playing? Or Saturday? Yeah, whenever we played
Yeah, last
Luxembourg,
night.
yeah. I didn't watch the match. I was in the gym, and I've heard people saying on social media, oh, where's all the Kenny fans now? We're playing great football. We haven't conceded a goal. We scored 10 goals, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Mate, it's fucking Luxembourg for a start. And two, the fact that he's only in the job 18 months and things are starting to come around, I'd give him an extension. But my question is, how far can he take us? Like, is it going to be one of those things where this is his best spell and it's going to go downhill from here? Or is it going to be a thing where we keep improving slightly and might even make a fucking group stage of the Euros or the World Cup or whatever? But the fact he's only in the job 18 months and there is progression there, I don't see why he would be sacked, because who else going to take his job?
Well, no, that's yeah, fair enough. I agree with a lot of your points there. Just want to add to what you were saying at the start. They're actually going through the best run of form they've had since Trapattoni was manager.
Yeah, so
maybe you're looking at a team they're playing well.
Some of the matches, maybe the style of football isn't great, but we're getting results and we're going through a good spell. So I can't see any reason why he wouldn't. Now, maybe if he kept up his form that he had over the last few matches before this round, then you can make an argument. But the fact there's actually progression after the last set of matches, I can't see why not. Maybe give him what's the next tournament? The World Cup that we didn't qualify for. So I'll give him to the Euros and doesn't qualify for the group stage. Then, yeah.
I think that's only fair. I think it's only fair to ask him after that, if that is the case. Now, I am a bit of a fan of the style of football that is playing and the bit of revolution that's going on in Irish football. I like the way a lot of the younger age teams know what sort of style of football they're going to be playing if they get to the national team. And that's always a good way to go about it. It's how Iceland started performing. It's how, I'll be laughed at for saying this, but the Faroe Islands, how they've actually come on leaps and bounds compared to where they were. Rather than being kicked around every game, they're actually putting up more of a fight and playing football when they get the chance. Obviously not against the biggest teams. They're obviously going to sit back, but against teams in their own kind of remit, they're really, really performing well there. And that's from bringing through a strong system of play through the national system, through the national setup, and from youth through. So if we keep going down that route, that's fantastic. I love what he's done with the players too. It's a real revamp of the squad in my eyes, and it's a lot of decisions as an armchair manager. You're just sitting there, I do that. I don't agree with every decision he makes, but there's a lot of decisions he made that I'd be like, I fucking couldn't see anything better to do than that. That's probably the best thing to do. Or I would have done that. There's a lot more than there isn't. So like James McLean can only be brought on once a game,
It's like he's learning as he goes. Like, he did make mistakes and he's learning from them. And I think the fact that more people are getting more interested in League of Ireland over the past, let's say, 2 years than before. Because looking at the FAI Cup final, that's what, Sunday week, the 29th, I think it is, or 28th. That looks like it's about 30 plus thousand going to be at it, and apparently that's like really good for a cup final.
It is. I'd imagine they usually get about 15,000 at them. And who's in the final? It's Bows against who?
Pats, Dublin Derby.
Oh, didn't I call Pats out on the last podcast?
Probably, yeah. But the fact that people
Rovers fans are dirt, but at least they're not Pats.
But the fact I've seen people saying that like they're watching League of Ireland football and they're like, oh, why isn't this player playing for the 21s, or why isn't this player playing for the senior squad? And seeing the keeper, what's his name, I can't think of his fucking name now.
Bazuna.
He was only at Rovers there like what, 2 years ago, last year, 2 years ago.
I think it was, what was it? He was
what's
probably at Rover. Bazuna's he's 19. He actually set a record during the week for the most appearances for the Republic of Ireland as a teenager.
I think it was 17 playing for Rovers.
Okay. Because he's at City now, on loan to Portsmouth.
Yeah. He went from Rovers to City. I think he went after like his leaving cert or something. But like the likes of him coming through and making a name for himself, and it might encourage people to start actually going to more League of Ireland games. Like, I'm putting my hands up, but I don't go to loads of games. I try to go to as many as I can.
Oh yeah, of course.
But I don't know, it's just good to see. I don't know, there's something about football coming back in Ireland. Like Ireland's starting to play well, apparently. League of Ireland starting to pick up. I just think there's a new era coming.
Yeah, and hopefully there is, man. I kind of understand. I'm erring on the side of hope here with you. Like, I really hope that is the case. And it's really nice to see now in the Irish team, the players that have come through, as you said there, the likes of Gavin Bazuna, the players that have come through the League of Ireland and ended up playing. Like, a lot of people don't know this, but Seamus Coleman started off in the League of Ireland playing for Sligo Rovers before he went over to Everton. And then went to Blackpool, back to Everton. You're looking at players like, I'm not sure about, was Shane Duffy ever, I think it was Derry City at one stage, was he?
Yeah,
before he went to Everton.
Shells as well, was he?
He could have been. But James McLean, I know, played for Derry City before he went to Sunderland. Scum. Don't worry, Sunderland are scum, not Derry. Derry's fresh. Who else? If you look at it, you're looking at lads like Chidozie Ogbene. He came through. Like, he's 24 now, but he came through. I'm not even going to embarrass myself by saying what team because I have no idea. But he came through from the League of Ireland. So you're looking at a lot of young players there that only the last few years have played in the League of Ireland. And that's only going to do one thing, and that's put the profile up.
Yeah.
You know? And I'd love to see it. I'd love to see a renovation of stadiums, make it a really community-based vibe, and have like kind of, I don't know, maybe like not as many fucking teams from Dublin.
One last thing before we move off League of Ireland stuff. Bows played Rovers there on Friday. Bows won, obviously. And
Up the lads.
I don't know if you heard about this, but remember I was saying Rovers won the league?
Yeah.
Not the way normally get champions get guard of honours in the Premier League and all this. Obviously, Bows are not going to give them a guard of honour for obvious reasons.
They are in the bollocks, yeah.
So what happened was all the Rovers subs and I think the backroom staff get the players a guard of honour coming on the pitch, and they got slated for it. And I don't know if you know, do you know Danny Mandrew?
Yeah. I'd say he nearly got hopped on.
No, he scored.
Did he?
And I think he started shushing the crowd and doing celebrations wherever in front of them. And next of all, Bows go and score 2 goals and end up winning 3-1. So I can imagine the abuse he got through the whole game. Like, Danny, what's the score? Danny, what's the score?
Brilliant. That's fucking brilliant. Shithousery in the highest order. Oh. And I wouldn't mind, you know who else was? Do you know who actually turned out to be a brilliant shithouse of football, man? Aaron Ramsdale.
Oh, yeah, that was seen the video? Brilliant.
Oh, you're shit.
He goes,
Fucking brilliant. But to the Leicester fans, fucking hilarious.
Brilliant.
I wouldn't mind. So, look, good things coming up in Irish football, hopefully. And let's see if we can actually win a Nations League game for once. Not like anyone cares anyway. It's only the fucking Nations League.
Yeah, I start going to the more League of Ireland games, and I'll start going to more Ireland games, but it costs money to go, doesn't it? So I have to be selective.
Well, but not that much.
Yeah.
How much? All right, just for the people at home that maybe have never gone to a League of Ireland match, right? Say you go to your average game at Daily Mount Park, give you a random team here, you're playing against, maybe you're playing in the cup against Athlone Town, yeah? Now, if you want to sit anywhere in that stand, bar the pissy stand that no one's allowed to sit in or stand in,
Just two
how much will
stands.
your ticket set you back?
10, 15 quid.
10 or 15 quid, right? And I'd imagine it's even cheaper to bring kids.
Yeah, I think they're either free or whatever.
Yeah, because I remember that when I used to go to see Shells matches when I was younger, it was only a fiver for the kid, and I think it was only about a tenner for the adult.
Yeah, it's about the
So
same
like, it's
now.
not like the prices can go any fucking lower.
Even for the
Whereas the
final,
players, yeah,
15 quid a ticket for a
45,
final.
15 quid. I thought it'd be about 40.
No, 15 quid for a ticket. And there's even neutral
See,
sections. So they have the bowl section, which is south stand, some of the east and some of the west. And then Pats have the
the
north stand. It's the biggest
south
one.
stand. Yeah, that's the other side of the goldfish bowl.
So Pats have
The,
the small, the shitty stand. And some of the west, some of the east. And we have the proper ultra section.
yeah, lovely.
Hey, it's going to be absolutely buzzing. The place is going to be hopping. I can't wait for it. I'm in the section right behind the goal. So if Bows win, I'll be on the pitch asking for a few jerseys.
That's it. That's the best way to do it.
And have the
Fucking
Monday
brilliant.
off.
Is the Monday off? Lucky bastard. See, I'm out of annual leave, so I can't have to hold on to mine for Christmas time, spend a bit of time with the family, get a bit of a tan. I'll get into that later. Oh, well, come here. Fucking getting the tan is the best present you can get at Christmas, bro. Telling you. And away from this kip of a country.
All right, moving
Yeah.
off away from sport, because I feel like we talk about sport for long enough
Yeah,
enough, and we always talk about
we're on a
sport. So
sporty buzz. Yeah, fuck it. Like, you know what I mean? The people are here to listen. So,
yeah,
fuck it.
it's our podcast as well. It's what we're interested in.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. So,
One thing
what else? What else are you interested this week?
I seen something the other day. I think it was probably last week or whatever. Probably mentioned it to you already. The thing about the telescope being launched next month. So
Do you
the
know
other
what?
way,
I think you mentioned this to me. Mentioned that to me after the podcast last week, and I can't remember. I'm gonna have to get you to explain it to me again. But you did want to bring it up last week. What is it? Because it was really fucking interesting.
so another way we have the Hubble telescope now that's been around since probably fucking the 90s or whatever.
Yeah,
And
however long that's there.
yeah, another way that takes images of like galaxies and fucking all this shit. And we've learned so much from it. So what's
Yeah.
happening is a new telescope that's been, I think it's been making the past 20 years or something. It's been made a while now, and it's being launched the 18th of December next month, and it's called the James Webb Telescope. And what they're saying is, when this launches, I'm not sure what time frame is, but what they're hoping is, they're hoping to see. I think it's they're hoping to see if there was light before the Big Bang. So
Yeah, I remember you saying that to me.
so stuff like this, and then hang on, and they want to see if there's life in other solar systems, and they want to see if there's life on the exoplanets that we discovered.
Okay.
Don't know what an exoplanet is, but they want to see if there's life on that, along with.
We'll have to get Neil deGrasse Tyson to explain what an exoplanet is. I have no
Yeah.
fucking idea. And
So-
man, when it comes to random bullshit facts, man, I'm usually the king. I haven't even got a clue what an exoplanet is.
Yeah, right. But they're hoping to answer many questions that we have, and I think the one I'm looking forward to most is the light before the Big Bang, and then maybe life on other planets. But the fact that that's been launched and we might have answers soon is something I'm actually nerding about. I'm actually getting excited for it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, there you go, man. Happy days. And that's when, man, education goes in the best, man. When you're enjoying what you're doing.
Like, I have an
And
interest
enjoying
in
what you're learning.
fucking in space and all that shit. Like, I'm curious to know what's out there, and it's actually mad how vast the fucking universe is, all that shit. But the fact that a telescope is going up there and maybe discovered life in another galaxy or whatever, it's just, hopefully there is.
Well, maybe that's just finally going to tell all the flat earthers, like, maybe fucking start believing in something else. I don't know. Go do a bit of religion or something, because you might need God. Basically, did you see, actually, I meant to bring this up to you. what Freddie Flintoff said about going to space.
What's say?
It was something along the lines of, I think it was about Bezos going to space. It was like, come here, Jeff, next time you're going, bring me up. I want to prove the Earth is really flat. No, it was something funny. I think he's taking the piss, like, do you know what I mean? But that's why he wants to go to space. He wants to go up and actually prove it's flat. Like a pizza. Like a pizza that you can eat around the ashes along with that kebab.
But I was thinking the other day as well, do you ever get when like you have a gut feeling? Like let's say you have a decision to make or you don't know whether you should do something or not. You just have a gut feeling, you just go with it. Do you ever think that's your reality and that's what you should do because in an alternate universe you've done the opposite and it was bad and this is your life of putting it right? But there's a deep thought.
I've heard of that theory before and I can't think of the name on it, but it's really fucking interesting. It's a really fucking interesting thought experiment, really. And I don't know. I really don't know.
Like
it's
in an alternate universe, you picked the other decision and that went bad, and now the timeline is fixing itself, and that's why your gut went with it.
Well, they do say when you're getting when you're getting born, when you're conceived and you're starting to like fucking form into a person, your brain and your stomach form at the same time, or they start forming from the same kind of same.
Yes, that's why I say like a gut feeling because there actually is a connection between like somewhere
in between your gut and your brain. And there's a big push now. I know, like this is gonna sound a bit funny when I say my mom told me this, but my mom told me that fuck's sake. Yeah, I was chatting to my mom the other day, and she was basically talking to me about how like gut health can really influence a lot of different things. So like, if you have a healthy gut, you're more likely to have a healthy mind. And a lot of the things that, even though like obviously you can't chalk all the mental health issues in the world down to okay, you eat 3-in-1s and there's bad shit and that, stop doing it. Do you know what I mean? But if you can keep a healthy gut, it helps with a healthy mind. I'll have to get her on here one day to explain it. But
podcast with Mama Kelly.
Definitely. Oh, that's it. Well, Martina Kelly, if you're listening, drop us a message. But yeah, come here. Like honestly, I think that's a really exciting link, to be honest. So I've noticed any time that I do eat better, anytime that my like, for lack of a better word, my stomach isn't fucked. Shout out to Graham O'Toole. Anytime my stomach's not fucked and I'm eating well and I'm not really fucking drinking all the time or anything, I know it's always I'm up there. I'm a bit faster. I'm a bit more on the level. I make my decisions a lot better. I can think a lot more clearly. You know?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if there is a link or even just to look into it and see what the crack is there. If Martina Kelly's right, which she usually is, I won't say usually, which she very often is. It could be very
Mammy's always right.
Yeah, do you ever notice that, man?
If Mammy can't find it, it's lost.
That's it. Even St. Anthony's not fucking finding that. Your man can't find it. I had to do that today, man. I couldn't find the hairdryer right yesterday, and I was like, "It's not fucking in there. It's not right. It's not in this one spot where it usually is. Don't one of them little like Kia pull-out little boxes. Should be in there. Fucking wasn't. Went in and checked earlier today. Still wasn't there. And I get out of the shower about 10 minutes later, and I go to my ma, what story? Whereabouts the hairdryer? She goes, where it always is. I walked in, and lo and behold, it's fucking there. How do you explain that? How?
They're always right to have powers. I swear to God, it's happened to me many times.
It's fucking mental. As I said, St. Anthony wouldn't be finding that. But an Irish mother will find anything.
Do you ever hear any theories about having dreams right like that? Like it's a way of, if you remember a dream, it's the universe's way of sending you a message or something like that.
Oh, deja vu you're talking about.
We call it deja vu, yeah.
Sorry, the same flow has been flying around for about 10 minutes. Deja vu. I'm a big believer in deja vu because I've fucking experienced it a few times, and it's always just little things, and it always kind of leaves me a bit unsettled afterwards. So like, I've been here before. Don't fucking like this. That's not cool. Please show me the lotto numbers. I think it is. I don't know. I really don't know what it is. I don't know if anyone's ever been able to explain it either. Something I've always been fascinated about is why does deja vu occur? Because I never had to ask, is it real when it's happened a few times to me? And I think it's happened a few times to everyone. I think everyone kind of knows that at this stage. But it's really weird. I wonder where it comes from. Could be a little glitch in the matrix. Who knows?
So with deja vu, do you believe in reincarnation? Do you think your mind was out there before, and that let's say if you went to, let's say in your previous life you were a person in fucking Rome or whatever. Let's say if you went to Rome,
Right.
you were like, you just get that deja vu feeling. Would that make you
Like,
think then that was I Italian in a previous life? Was I here before?
I don't know. It's something when I was younger, I very often looked into it. And reincarnation it's very, very kind of pertinent in a lot of different cultures. I know in Buddhism, it's centralized a lot of religions and a lot of different ideas. But that's more so to be a nice person, or you're gonna that's gonna eat shit for the rest of its life. Do you know what I mean? Whether I was reincarnated in the past, if it was long enough ago, man, I'd say I was too mouthy and probably got put to death, and that's probably why I'm back here. And it probably happened more than once because I don't shut the fuck up. So I can imagine that in a shit ton of different languages. That sounds like torture to most people. Never mind a good time.
I've seen a few things online about people saying that they have proof of being reincarnated. Like they go back to a house and like, I know about your husband that died on him. I was and tell you loads of things that only he knows and all this shit. Then I've heard other theories where like people with certain birthmarks or marks in their body.
And it
That's
just
how
shows up in you, that person.
no, that's how he died in the previous life. So let's say there's a birthmark on the back. That means he got like shot in the back or whatever. Like shit like that I've heard.
Well, I must have had some very fucking peaceful deaths, man. Not a mark on me,
I'm not saying
unless I
that's
put it
like
there myself.
I'm not saying that's a thing, but some people
I'm
that
taking that as
have
gospel, bro.
not mad. Like we believe in shit like this, but we don't believe in God.
There you go, like just the way shit goes, isn't it? Ah,
We believe in
you're gonna have to
stupid
edit that for the Catholic friendly version where it's gonna say we do,
Catholic friendly.
and then the Islam friendly version is gonna have to be completely different as well.
In the name of the Father and the Holy after Sesh. Amen.
The name of the session, no,
No,
in the
name of the
name of the
after.
praise. No, it's in the name of the praise, in the name of the night out, and the after sesh. I've gathered you all here today as somebody has betrayed me. Someone's at that fleecing the last bit of gargle we got. Anyway, right.
I have holy water here. I have the
You have
holy
holy
water.
water. Lovely bit of holy water. Lovely. Joe, I'd love to know, right? Do you know exorcisms? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, you know the way throughout the history of humankind, medicine has never really quite been where it is today, is how I'll put it. So how many people do you reckon got exorcism? Oh, that's probably not even the word, but you get what I mean. How
Yeah.
many people probably got exorcisms over the years? That just like probably they were just having like a bit of a fucking traumatic episode or something. They had like a bit of a mental health issue, and then all of a sudden the devil's in her, starve her to death and all like you know what I mean? I wonder how many people over the years actually got fucking stuck with that. Because that could be the root of where a lot of shit comes from. A lot of like, you know, like superstition and folklore and all comes from just not being able to understand what's going on in the world around you. Do you know what I mean? That's why we create myths and legends. It's where a lot of gods came from and like the Norse pantheon and everything like that. But what do you think?
I wonder how many exorcists there's actually been because I was only watching the Conjuring the other day. I think it was the Conjuring, the Devil, something or whatever. I went to
Oh
watch
yeah. The Devil Wears Prada or something like that.
yeah, I went to watch them on telly and I couldn't get the channel working, so I just put it on the background and like, towards the end they were performing an exorcist. And I'm like, does that actually happen? Is that a real thing?
Yeah, exorcisms are real. It's very rare that the church will actually sign off on an exorcism. But there is trained exorcists. I think in the Vatican there's like an exorcist, like almost like SEAL Team 6, but for exorcists. That's how I imagine it anyway. Deep in like the Vatican archives, the Pope goes down and is like, yes, Lucifer, he is back. Papa Francisco goes downstairs, huddling along with that, has his light out in front of him, gets a real old rusty key. All you can hear is door opens, and then these exorcisers come out. Fucking like
Exercises.
rulers or some shit.
See,
I have
exercises.
exorcisers, yeah, that's what we're gonna call them. Exercise Team Seal, Exercise Team Seal 6. I don't fucking know. Anyway, they come out and punch the shit out of a demon or whatever. I actually have never even seen an exorcism movie. I've never seen that. I've heard about like stories of like what's your man Roland Doe and shit like that. There's people like who they actually base the Exorcist movies off, and it's hard to know like. Well, it's not really though because I don't believe that there was some fucking demon in having them. But like, Jesus Christ, if you think about it, if someone was just having like a traumatic episode and their man there would have fuck that cunt, that possessed, they weren't like that yesterday. It's like, yeah, 'cause it's probably been bitten by a dog and a fucking rabies or something. Who knows? Like, John, go beyond. How many people do you reckon were like needlessly kind of just like sent to get exercised? They're locked in the bedroom and there goes the priest. God knows what's gonna happen there.
Like the way back in the old days where people are killed for being a witch. How many people are
Yeah,
performed?
same shit.
Yeah. Just
As South Park said, in one of those witch pursuit thingies.
the 2021 version of being killed for being accused of being a witch.
Yeah, well, like a lot of people would call cancel culture, like, you know, for like a lot of comedians would call that almost like a witch hunt these days, you know. A lot of famous people kind of. It's one thing I have to say. A lot of people that are like kind of, you know, like famous and shit like that. I'll put it this way: they have their blue tick on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I love them. Like, have you ever told a joke before? You're kind of fucked at some stage.
Oh, 100%.
You can see why a lot of them kind of jump on the cancel culture's dick and just kind of go, yeah, I'm fucking rather die until they find out what you said, throw you under the bus, and then you're fucked.
Mate, I said some fucked up shit. I can remember exactly what I said years ago.
Yeah.
And if I said that now, oh, good. Oh.
I'd be killed.
Oh.
I know, I'm the same. And the funny thing is, everyone is the exact same. Because remember Dave Chappelle says in Sticks and Stones, it's like, all right, have a guess who I am. I don't like what you said. And if I find anything else that you've said throughout your whole entire life, your whole career is over, I'm going to make sure I destroy you and all. Do you know who that is?
Cancel culture.
Everyone at home, like, do you know what I mean? But everyone is fucked. Not everyone at home, obviously, but like, do you know, moany cunts, I think that's, for whatever reason, people seem to think there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
I've looked around, I've tried to find some. Kind of like not there. So my whole take on it is, do you know what cancel culture? Do you reckon there's actually much of a move out there to get most people cancelled, or do you think
100%.
it's just? Do you reckon no, but like, hear me out here. Do you reckon it's actual people with actual accounts, or it's people and bots, and then people with a few different accounts? Because I think the pool of people that's actually trying to cancel people is a lot smaller than you think.
Yeah,
I think it's a lot of pissed off people that sit in their pajamas all day. In the case of the lads, they look down. They're not called CeeLo Green. They're called CeeLo Penis. Like, do you know what I mean? These sort of people that are not going to do that in society. Their idea of a social life is fucking going into World of Warcraft and they're not paying for the subscription that month. You know what I mean?
I think
it's very funny to me. Like,
I think
I think
the
people
latter of what you
overblow it.
said.
Do you think so?
Yeah. It's
A
not
lot
like
of little fools, a lot of little shite bags, kind of dry shites, just sitting there being like, well, I don't know what he said. Do you know what I mean? He's probably seen a woman naked before. I'll never get that off of a screen. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just as, who is it? Who says it? Colby Covington says it. What's up, nerds and virgins? Like, I actually challenge someone to cancel me, man. It'd be so funny because you know what they're going to get told?
What?
Nothing, because I don't negotiate with terrorists.
I said to myself that I'm going to be more open to the podcast, and I feel like I'm holding back too much. That's why I said what I said earlier about the Ireland jersey and all that. I'm going to try to be open more because fuck what other people say. Like, it's my opinion. But
that's it, bro.
The thing I said on social media, I definitely can't say now, but I'm going to tell you as soon as the podcast is over.
Please do, and we're going to make
this
sure
is
we
one
don't
thing
hit
I
record.
can't say.
Go onto our Patreon to find out what Aaron really said on social media a few years ago. And if you're really struggling with our Patreon, call us, because girls all over Ireland are looking to answer your phone call. I want to talk to you about the art session. 1-800-69-69-69. You never see that. You never see that ad anymore, don't you know? Remember at 9 o'clock it hit, be sitting there, your ma or dad going for a cup of tea, and all you hear is girls all over Ireland. You're looking for some big
looking
pervert
for
is on the telly.
Friendship, or maybe more.
Yeah,
a cup of dinner.
It's like, no, I'm looking for fucking South Park to come back off ad break, mate. Like, get off me poxy screen. Like, I mentioned South Park way too much, man. That thing has way too much to do with my decision making process.
But here, going back to Exorcist and all that shit, I said
Yeah.
this to you before. Why are all the horror films associated with the church, the devils, crosses, priests, nuns? Why is that the like center of all horror films? Why can't it be like
Okay.
a fucking I don't know, spiders and
Well,
clowns and
I'll give it to you. Give me it this way, right? You asked me the question again, but I want you to give me each like kind of thing, each topic that's covered, or each person, or kind of whatever. Everything you were saying there, I want you to give me them one by one, and one by one, I'm going to give you a reason exactly why they put them in horror movies
so
off the top of
crosses.
my head. For crosses, the Ku Klux Klan used them, so that's scary.
Uh,
I thought thought this would be so much easier. I kind of put myself in a fucking hole. I'm digging a hole out for myself. All right, come on.
no, but like, why is it always? Let's remember you saying there about people being exorcists, whatever the word is, exorcisted.
Yeah,
What
exercisers.
exorcisers? Why is it always a priest that's called in? Why don't you call the fucking
An
ghost?
exorcism is a religious ritual. That's why. And the reason I'll answer this now, the reason that a lot of like say iconography is used from like say religious iconography is used in them movies is there's a lot of people out there, unlike yourself and myself, that are either in some way religious or devoutly religious. And for them seeing things on screen that kind of corrupt the icons that they put a lot of value in, that in itself is a scary thought. You know, so if they're looking at something on screen that completely contradicts their worldview, like say someone that lives, like say a Mormon watches fucking Halloween or Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they go from being really innocent to, oh my god, why is he chopping someone up with a fucking chainsaw? And they've
Yeah.
right there, they've cursed for the first time in their life. I don't know. I think it's to do with how can we make people kind of go, oh fuck. How can you put things from the everyday life and make that scary? Because I think that's a lot scarier than putting someone a fucking dream demon like Freddie. Oh, I was gonna say Freddie Mercury, a dream demon like fucking Freddy Krueger. Oh, he's gonna kill people in their sleep. That's not realistic. I think when you get to the heart of the issue, the heart of the thing here is there's a lot of people, as I said, are devoutly religious. A lot of people are somewhat religious. Some people aren't religious.
So is the thing that where it links in
But
when you think of
it
like scary, you think of let's say graveyards and dead people. Then to be buried, you have to go to mass and for a funeral. And that's how it links back with it.
It
So
could be,
let's
but
say you're
I
like
think it's more to do with corrupting something that the audience will hold in their head as a good idea or a good value. So, say
just
if you were to have the cross as like, say, the cross means good
yeah, then
in
upside
the
down
movie,
is
then
devil.
if they invert the cross,
Oh, hell's
do
a
you
bit
know
of
what I
break
mean?
loose.
Yeah, exactly. It's little things like that, and
Literally.
it's more to do with as a storytelling motif. It's easier to base something in religion because then you always have someone that can come along and give you that information drop. Like, you can't do it. You can't do it. If you let him free, he'll run over the world, and there'll be a million nights of darkness. They'll run out of Guinness in the pub. Like Jaeger bombs will cost a tenner each. Like all that sort of like fucking world ending nonsense comes out of it then. I don't know. I think that's what it is though. I think it's to do with like, people are very religious and you can scare people by attacking what their beliefs are, but not really attacking, just kind of trying to corrupt what their belief is.
So what
Or
happens
how to
when
see it.
someone that's not a Christian is what's the word for it? Possessed by a demon and then a priest
Um
comes in?
I believe throughout history they have mental health problems and they probably sought medical advice or their family did. The Christians, on the other hand, just went, devil,
Priest,
the
come
devil.
here.
What happened? She has a left
Father
hand. She's
Collins.
left-handed. She has the most beautiful penmanship I've ever seen, but she's writing with her left hand. That's the devil. Like I think Ireland has way too much of an effect on this on us still with that way. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
that's what it could be. Could be. But what makes you bring it up? Well, what has that thought in your head? I know we were talking about movies over the last few episodes.
Yeah, because I was watching it the other day and like they showed a clip of the sitting room and the cross goes up and like again with the cross is like just every time I watch a horror film, it's always a bleeding cross or a priest or
Oh,
like
yeah. even the Undertaker, man, in wrestling, when he was supposed to be like a scary kind of character, you know, back in the 90s where he's there trying to fucking sacrifice Stephanie McMahon and all, like, weird shit, hanging the big boss man from the Hell in the Cell. Fucking mad shit. You know what I mean? He used crosses and electric chairs and, you know, shit like that.
Coffins.
Things that emote fear, coffins, things that you associate with unpleasantness, with death and all. And
Yeah.
it's the sort of kind of horror. There's a lot of horror that can be emoted through those sort of images. Like even like nowadays, and this is not trying to be horrible at all to anyone, but if you put a fucking video up of a church and make it look eerie, I'd say a lot of people have in the back of their head, a kid has definitely been fiddled in there. Like,
Jesus.
no, but like I'm not trying to be funny, but like in this day and age, if you see that in the background, it's a bit grayscale, the music's a bit dark or ominous, or sounds like it could be in the It movie. It's probably because It is a priest in this case, you know.
Do you ever go
And
to?
I'm not trying to be rude or cheeky, but I think nowadays when you see like crosses and shit like that, it's more associated with the sinisterness of what has gone on in the past in that kind of area.
Do you ever go
I don't know.
to
I'm
church
probably
and
wrong
think,
though.
holy shit, this is creepy?
Yeah, man. I used to teach guitar lessons in St. Francis Xavier's Church in just off of Mountjoy Square on Gardner Street, and out straight. You go in there after 7 o'clock, man, and it's eerie as fuck, man. It's bigger and taller, and you know, like when you're in somewhere and it's taller on the inside than it has any right or need to be. The echo was horrible. When you took a step, it went. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could hear it a mile away. That was freaky as fuck for me, and it was just I was grand. I could have Jeff Jarretted them, you know what I mean? Take the guitar off my back, smash it over their head. Wouldn't mind. I was given a warning or two. Now nothing ever happened in that church from what I believe, but around the time, you know, all that shit was coming out with what happened in the church with priests
Is that the
and
baby
kids
thing,
and
was
all.
it?
No, I'm talking about like the
Oh,
molestations and shit
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
There's a lot of things
Well,
that's going on.
I was
So
about 50. Bro, I was about 14, 15. Like, do you know what I mean? Going into a church. I mean, man, I like teaching guitar as a sketch, and it was nothing like that. Nothing of the sort like that. It was incredibly innocent. But because of the time it was, my ma said to me, she goes, "Come here, just make sure." Like, no one, like, and she didn't even have to finish the sentence. I was like, "I went, ma, 6'2". I'm G. I've kickboxing tomorrow, don't I?" Do you know what I mean? I was like, "Yeah, grand. Who's gonna touch me? I'm not the best looker."
yeah, like
Now, see, you asked me what's gonna get us cancelled.
that's what I like. I like being more open and saying stupid shit like this. It's what here we
Oh
are,
yeah,
and
like, oh yeah, well, true. Do you reckon? Do you reckon you get many good horror stories or horror movies out of Irish legends? Because you know the Headless Horseman is an Irish legend.
is he?
Yeah, the Doulahan. As you said, Stingy Jack, Irish legend.
Yeah.
They're not all tearing the nose,
Turn it on.
examining knowledges.
Yeah, I say you could get a good horror film out of it, like if you base it off being a culty and all the cows and sheep disappear or something, then that's a bit scary to them, isn't it?
I have a great one for you, right? Picture this. Now, if anyone's from the country here, plug your ears. You don't want nightmares like this. Picture this, 2035. A voice comes over, shows a field with a bit of mist. You can hear a ball getting pucked around. It's been 17 years since anyone other than Dublin won an All Ireland, and they refused to split the county. But what happens when Meath and Westmeath join together?
I thought you were actually going somewhere with this. I thought it was actually going to be a
No,
genuine horror story.
no, imagine, Jesus Christ. It is a horror story for anyone outside of Dublin. Imagine the next 17 years. No trophies for you there, yeah. Sorry, pal.
No, I think if you look into it more, you could definitely get a good horror story out of Irish culture. Like even have
You could.
like I think the
could. You're right.
The Irish humor would make it funny, but then you also have the scary moments in it. So I think it would represent the Irish culture very well. If a
Okay,
horror film.
if you're to
think
make an
about
Irish horror movie,
Oh no, think about it this way. Now when you go down the
right?
bogland, the arsehole of nowhere, your closest neighbour like literally like 5 miles away, and you're surrounded
Yeah.
by land and everything's like down the back roads, and they have tiny little villages with little tiny
Yeah.
scary shops full of webs and all. Like, there's your horror story there.
Hard to even get a bit of milk unless you're pulling out your cow. Yeah.
Like, you get a great setting out of that. Like, imagine just doing a horror story, and
Bro, I have the spot for you. I know exactly where to go
yeah,
for that.
anywhere
Yeah.
outside Dublin.
Connemara Mountains, bro. Connemara Mountains would be a great setting for that.
Where's
Fuck
that,
all
west?
trees, very barren, very barren looking landscape in certain parts of it. A lot of logging up. There's a lot of logging actually over that way. I hope that stops sometime soon. Needs to be a lot more forest over here. A lot better horror movie locations. Well, I want to ask you, right?
Oh, so just
Should make a
I
horror
thought you
movie?
said logging as in something dirty, but that's just me, sorry.
No, you mad joke. If you were to make a horror movie, right, and you were to base it in Ireland, would you go based off something that would be like a real life kind of story? Would you go for something that you could kind of take from like legends? You could take characters from, say, like Irish myth and bring them to the circle, because I bring them to the forefront. And like I'd ask you that because there's not a lot written and recorded from Irish history pre the Christians,
Yeah.
you know. And after that, we were known as the land of poets and scholars. So like we were like the bookkeepers, and we just kept everything written down for the rest of Europe. It was like, oh, this happened at this time, and you know what I mean. We were really good for that. But before that, a lot of the things weren't written down properly. So if you could take into account the likes of how horrifying is this? There's a creature from Irish folklore called a changeling. Have you ever heard of a changeling?
Never.
A changeling is a type of fairy. And I know that's not going to sound very intimidating whatsoever, but fairies in Irish folklore are a lot different to what fairies are in like modern day pop culture. What you consider as a fairy wouldn't be a fairy godmother; it'd be more of a evil yoke of a gremlin looking thing. But changelings, to get back to this, what they were supposedly known for was if you had a kid, like like a newborn baby or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
man, abduct the kid, take on the features of the child, and like live with the family afterwards.
Yeah, you could definitely go
Like, you
down
know what I
the.
mean?
Yeah, you could definitely go
If
off
you're
the.
talking about a haunted or possessed kid, changing all the fucking way, man.
Yeah, like you could definitely go off some of the mythical creatures and Irish legend and all that, and put your own spin on it to make it just that bit
Yeah.
more scary and have it more futuristic and more modern.
Oh
And
man, I'd bring the druids into it and human sacrifice and make shit up and all.
yeah,
We should have movie. The entire thing would be me running through the forest with the camera pointed at my nose, fucking Blair Witch Project stuff.
I
Why
missed
not?
most of that. Your internet cut up there. It was a bit stop and go.
Wasn't worth listening to anyway. It really wasn't worth listening to. I wouldn't bother recovering that audio.
But I think we talked enough shit for this week. What do you think?
That has been a lot of shit talked in comparison to most weeks. A
Yeah,
lot of me tripping over my own words. Apologies for that. Swear the next one will be better, boys.
yeah. I think we might have a guest for next week. I don't want to confirm anything yet, but you never know. If not, you'll have us two legends back again. But if you're
Yeah,
listening this far in,
man.
go on.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Sorry, didn't mean to cut across you. I was just kind of going, huh? Look at the size of that ham hock.
For those listening on Spotify, like, what the fuck?
Yeah. He just flexed and nearly broke his camera.
You ripped my t-shirt.
That's it.
But we're gonna end this episode here, folks. People, this or that's, he, she's, these M's, he, hers, all that shit. If you had enjoyed it, give us a follow on the old Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, hit a like, leave a review, comment, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, we're on TikTok, everywhere. Once you search as a Sesh podcast, we'll come up anywhere. Our OnlyFans is under maintenance, so maybe not there just yet, but hopefully the new year that'll be up and running. But if you have any dad jokes, this or that's, topics, anything at all, leave us a comment, DM us, and even if any guest suggestions, if you have a good story to tell, drop us a DM. We might get you on, and maybe the next month or new year or so, we might be doing a few live streams. So watch this space.
Yeah, that's it. So, ladies and gentlemen, with all of that, thank you very much for coming along. Have a wonderful night.
Take it
Ciao,
easy.
Bella.
Bella, ciao, Bella, ciao,
Bella, ciao, Bella, ciao, 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 da-da-dee-da, da-da-da-da-da. I don't know Italian. Da-da-da-dee-da, da-da-da-da-da. Oh, Bella, ciao, Bella, ciao, Bella, ciao, ciao, ciao.